नमः परमऋषिभ्यो नमः परमऋषिभ्यः। हरिः ओम। यस्यान्तर्नादिमध्यं न हि करचरणं नाम गोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जातिर्नैव वर्णा न भवति पुरुषो न नपुंसं न च स्त्रीं नाकारं नो विकारं न हि जनिमरणं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं तत्त्वं नो तत्त्वमेकं सहजसमरसं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वरिशिष्टान्तेव सदृशिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपं स्वात्मारामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय यतये शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादिनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रतिं तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने। अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकमहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। पवित्रं चरितं यस्याः पवित्रं जीवनं तथा पवित्रतास्वरूपिण्यै तस्यै देव्यै नमो नमः। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणीं योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नाम् अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषां धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि कस्मै येन विभासितोऽयमतुलो ज्ञानप्रदीपः पुरां तद्रूपेण च नारदाय मुनये कृष्णाय तद्रूपिणां योगीन्द्राय तदात्मनाथ भगवद्राताय कारुण्यतः तच्छुद्धं विमलं विशोकममृतं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः प्रोज्झितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैः ईश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यते त्रिकृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गणितं फलं शुकमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबद भागवतं रसम् आलयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि यस्वानुभावमखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अतितितीर्षदां तमोन्धं संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्याससूनुमुपयामि गुरुं मुनीनां नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। सत्यव्रतं सत्यपरं त्रिसत्यं सत्यस्य योनिं निहितं च सत्ये सत्यस्य सत्यं ऋतसत्यनेत्रं सत्यात्मकं त्वां शरणं प्रपन्नाः सर्वत्र गोविन्दनाम संकीर्तनं। कुतो बुद्धिरियं ब्रह्मन् अकर्तुः सुविशारदां यामासाद्य भवान् लोकं विद्वान् चरति बालवत्। Now we are in Uddhava Gita. Uddhava Gita is a very vast portion of Bhagavatam. In fact, it is much more larger than Bhagavad Gita. But we are seeing the first part of that, where Krishna is telling Uddhava about an Avadhuta who is giving Upadesham to Yadu Maharaja. This King Yadu meets this Avadhuta and who is this Yadu? Dharmavit. He knows the secret of Dharma. He could identify the Jivan Mukta there. So seeing that, Avadhutam Dvijam Kanchit Charantam Akuto Bhayam. What is the sign of the Avadhuta? Akuto Bhayam. No fear at all. One sign of Sakshatkara, Jnanam, is fearlessness. When Janaka attained that state, Yajnavalkya said, Abhayam vai Janaka praptosi. Janaka, you have attained Abhayam, you have attained fearlessness. So here also, seeing the Avadhuta, he finds that he is absolutely fearless, no thought about the body. Seeing him, Yadu asks, how did you attain this state? How did you attain this Ananda Sthiti? Bruhi Ananda Karanam. You are a Vidwan, but you are moving like a Bala, like a child. Pandityam nirvidya balyena tishthasayat. The Shruti says, after attaining Pandityam, Pandityam means Atmajnanam only. In Gita, Bhagavan says, who is a Pandita? Nanu shochanti Panditaha. The sign of a Pandita is no shoka. Yes, tarati shokam atmavit. The moment he realizes the self, he goes beyond any chance of grief. Gita starts with no shokam, ends with no shokam. In the beginning it is ashocyananvashochastvam, ending with ma shuchaha. So here it is shokam makarshihi, no more shoka, no more dukkha. So this, seeing this, Yadu Maharaja is asking, Vidwan, you are a Pandita, but you are a Bala. You are like a Bala. Vidwan Sharati Balavat. I want to know how you attained this Sparshavihina Sthiti, the state where you are absolutely touchless, asanga. Tell me that, reveal to me, if I have that yogyata revealed to me. Amidst all the samsaris who are suffering, who are going through all the miseries of the worldly life, you are also staying in the center, unaffected by that. Very peaceful, quiet. Gambhira. So, reveal to me the secret knowledge by which you went beyond, transcended shoka. When Yadu Maharaja asked this, that Avadhuta became very happy. He is living in absolute bliss. And he reveals how he got it. Santi me guravo rajan bahavo buddhyupashritaha yato buddhimupadaya mukto atami hatan shrunu. That Avadhuta says, I am now moving about absolutely free. Muktaha atami. As a mukta, unbound, not at all bound by anything, I am absolutely free, I am moving about. You want to know how I got this? Buddhi mupadaya, by taking the buddhi, by knowing the truth, the buddhi, the jnanam. I got it from many gurus, not one guru or two guru, many gurus. Once it happened that Kanchi Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Swami was moving about, walking, and in Kashi somebody asked him, that was very, very long back, someone asked him, why you have called yourself Jagat Guru? How can you call yourself Jagat Guru? Because many don't accept you as their Guru, and they say you are Jagat Guru. And he was a very humble person and very wise. He said, I am Jagat Guru not because I am the Guru of the Jagat, but the entire Jagat is my Guru. He said, the world is my Guru, I am learning from everywhere, from everyone. So Jagadeva Mad Guruhu. So Jagat is my Guru, so I am Jagat Guru. Sometimes, this title many people will have. So real Jagat Guru, everyone should be a Jagat Guru. We have to learn from everywhere, from every Mahatma. So, this Avadhuta is telling, I have taken knowledge from various sides, various corners. And all that knowledge has helped me. How has it helped me? Not to add to my head library. Every bit of knowledge has helped me to become free, to abide in samadhi, to abide in absolute shanti, Brahmi sthiti. It has all helped me to attain that state. So who are those gurus? From where did you get that? There he says, Prithvi vāyur āpo agni chandrama ravihi kapoto ajagaras sindhuhu patango madhukrit gajaha madhuha harino minaha pingala kurarorbhagaha kumari sharakrit sarpaha urnanabhihi supeshakrit yete me guravo rajan chaturvimshatihi ashritaha shikshavrittibhiretesham anvashikshamihatmanaha. I took the teaching from various sides. First, from Panchabhuta, Prithvi, Vāyu, ākāśam, yato yadanu shikshami yatha vānahushatmaja tat tatha purushavyagra nibodha kathayami te. I will tell you what I took from everyone. Bhutaihi akramyamanopi dhiro daivavashanugaihi tad vidwan na chalet margad anvashiksham kshitehe vratam. The first teaching he says, when we come to spiritual life, especially Vedanta Jnana, we need sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. If that is there, then only Jnana will work. If a person has all the prerequisites, no sadhana is needed. He has to just listen, he will attain Jnana. Not even manana nididhyasana. In Vedanta there are two sampradayas. One sampradaya says only Shravana is enough. And another sampradaya they say Shravana is not enough, you need manana nididhyasana also. Both are true. For a very ripe person, just like I am wearing this glass and somebody say I am searching for the glass through the glass. Wearing the glasses, I am searching for the spectacle here and there. And somebody says, it is specs is there in your nose. Oh, it is there like that. One moment, the Mahavakya comes, the person recognizes his real nature and is free. Nothing else. The Guru says, you are that. And the listener, that very moment gets established in the highest truth. Is it possible? Very rarely possible. Very rarely possible. We cannot deny that possibility. In Brahma Sutra Bhashya, there is one sutra which says Avartir Asakrudupadeshat. This is one sutra. In that sutra, Shankaracharya says, there is Purva Paksha and Siddhanta. There he says, why should again and again listen to the same teaching? Why not? You can, this teaching is same. So you just listen and be established. You should be established in the truth. Once you listen from the Guru, established in Brahman. Then Acharya says, we cannot deny that such mature seekers might be there. We cannot deny them. But for the general seeker, he has to again and again listen, again and again do manana, nididhyasana, shanaihi, slowly his ajnana shakala will be removed and will get established. That is the general rule. That is why avartihi, again and again repetition is needed. Otherwise, once, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, in Saddarshana he says, ahasputam tattvamasi iti vedaha. Tathapi asaprapya paratmanishtham bhuyo vicharaha matidurbalatvam tat sarvatha swatmataya hi bhati. Veda says tattvamasi. Without getting established again thinking is matidurbalatvam. He says weak-minded. The intellect is not powerful to abide there. So that is about very rare people. But generally the person has to Shrotavyaha, Mantavyaha, Nididhyasitavyaha. He has to listen, he has to contemplate, he has to meditate, and he has to abide in his real nature. All this must be done. And sometimes preparatory sadhana, upasana also should be taken care of. So this is all needed. And before listening, the person should have some prerequisites. Viveka, Vairagya, Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana, Mumukshutva, all these must be there. Yeshu satsveva sannishta yada bhavena siddhyate. If these prerequisites are there, the person will get easily attain the realization. So one quality is Titiksha. That is very important. Titiksha means the person is ready to endure. Whatever difficulty might come in life, come across in life, he is ready to swallow it. No complaint. Not resisting. Whatever may be the difficulty, you just stay with it and absorb it. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam chinta vilaparahitam sa titiksha nigadyate. This is one of the most important prerequisite. When the very beginning of Gita, Krishna says this, Titiksha Swabharata. So sahanam sarva dukkhanam. Dukkha will come. When you take birth, sometimes you go to some supermarket and buy something, they will give you something free. Like that, the moment you are born, free you will get dukkha. You need not ask for it. Along with your birth, dukkha also takes birth. It also comes. And the lesson that has to be learned is to swallow it. Endure. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam. And without any pratikara buddhi. Sharda Devi said, one of the most important teaching of Holy Mother, she said to one devotee, learn to endure. More and more patience. So kshama. And what endurance we can see in our life. So much of difficulty. People used to wonder how she is able to manage that. After Ramakrishna's Mahasamadhi, she went and stayed sometime in Ramakrishna's village, Kamarpukur, then Jairambati. And devotees used to go there and to see her. And people used to see that so much trouble around. You go through the life, you will understand. So much of difficulty, so much of trouble around, and there she stays, and there she gave mantra diksha to many, amidst all the difficulties. So this, one should learn to swallow suffering, endure pain. See, when Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi had sarcoma, people generally, without knowing the real story, will say he had no pain. So when they were doing surgery, he was showing his hand. All these stories are there. But actually it is not true. He had pain. In fact, when one devotee asked Bhagavan, do you have pain? He said, it is like 1,000 bees stinging. So much of pain is there. Then how he was very calm? He had titiksha, that's all. Just swallowed it. Just enduring, that is all. Nothing special. So that even before jnanam, it should be there. So that ready to suffer. Whatever, if you are ready to suffer, nothing can frighten you. In Bhavabhuti Ramayana, Rama says, Ramosmi sarvam sahe. He says, after all, I am born as Rama, I have to suffer. So I will go through it patiently, not resisting anything. I will suffer. So this is the Titiksha. And this Avaduta says, I learned this from Prithvi, from earth. See, you give so much trouble to earth. all our discoveries, inventions are creating trouble to earth. All the Buddhas, we are creating trouble. And put such a hole, one day you will reach the other end. So much of things are being done to Bhuma Devi. And she suffers. Silently she endures everything. So this is Kshama, Titiksha. So when a sadhaka comes to life, spiritual life, he should be ready to go through all that life presents to him. Sarva dukkhanam, no pratikara buddhi, no reaction. See, there was one great saint, Ekanath Maharaj in Maharashtra. He was very well known for Titiksha. And no anger, no irritation, very calm. So some miscreants, they decided somehow he should be made angry. So they arranged for a person. The person wanted some money, so they told him, we will give you money, you somehow make Ekanath Maharaj disturbed. See what all interest. So they said, you make Ekanath lose his temper. So this person, he bought a box full of betel leaf and all pan. You can see these people who eat all this pan parag, it will be like blood flowing. So all that with all chewing betel leaf, his mouth full of that thing, he will be waiting for Ekanath Maharaj to come from Godavari. So after taking Godavari Snanam, they will say Ganga Snanam. Even if you take Godavari Snanam, they will say Ganga Snanam. So from Godavari he was coming back. This person will spit on his face. Ekanath Maharaj will just wash it and go back and take a dip in Godavari and come back. This person will be, by the time he will be ready again, full his whole mouth, because he will be ready to do that again. He will again spit. Ekanath will go back and take a dip and come back. This happened 30-40 times. No anger, no irritation, very calm, very peaceful. At last, perhaps the bitter leaf is over and he got irritated and he fell flat before Ekanath Maharaj and said, I have failed, Maharaj. How is it possible that you don't get angry? The answer is very beautiful. Ekanath Maharaj said, the betel juice that you spit on me, that I can easily wash if I go and take a dip in Godavari. But if I get angry towards you, the hatred that arises within me, I cannot wash by taking a dip in Godavari or Ganga or anywhere. This easily I can wash outwardly. And more than that, by your grace, I got about 25 or 30 Ganga Snana today. And later on, Ekanath Maharaj came to know that he was in dire need of money. So money also he gave to him. Money also he gave to him. So this is Titiksha. We need not have that much Titiksha because nobody is going to test. So at least in our life, troubles will come, pain will come, various difficulties will come. So, matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhadaha agamapayino anityaha tan stitikshasva bharata. When you are able to endure, a profundity comes in the personality. The more and more the person has Titiksha, the power to hold samadhi will be very deep. Meditativeness, to hold meditativeness will be very deep. So that is why Otherwise, see, when trouble comes, all our meditation will go. Mosquito biting, meditation will go. Somebody asked Ramana Maharshi, Bhagavan, they say you should not do himsa. But what will we do when mosquito bites? This mosquito is a very difficult thing for people. Maharshi said, you can put a mosquito net. That is the easiest solution for that. Maharshi said, mosquito is giving you a teaching. What teaching? It is constantly telling you, you are not the body, you are not the body. And you are saying, I am the body, I am the body. The mosquito is a very, very powerful creature, because if you put a net to catch a deer, the deer will be inside the net. If you use a net to catch a tiger, tiger will be inside the net. But for mosquito, you use a net, you are inside the net. And mosquito comes with its family and tells, see, this is human being. Like a zoo, it comes and shows. So, ahimsa, titiksha, you are able to endure difficulties. So this is the first quality. The Avadhuta says that I learnt this from Bhumi, from earth. So that is one thing very important. We cannot learn it from earth, but we have to learn it from Mahapurushas. How they are able to withstand, endure, suffer silently, no reaction. This we can see in great Mahatmas and imbibe. These qualities cannot be learnt and practiced. They should be imbibed. They should be imbibed. So, this a person has to learn. Tadvidvanna chaled margad. Whatever difficulty you may come across, you don't move away from the spiritual path. This is Chitivratam, Chiter Vratam. He says this is Bhumi Vratam. So this I learned. Then Shashvat Parartha Sarveha Pararthaikanta Sambhavaha Sadhu Shiksheda Bhubrittaha Nagashishya Paratmatam. Along with earth, he says, I learned something from the mountain, the trees, all of them are suffering silently. Like that, the yati also should not resist, should not react, should be able to suffer silently. Then Pranavritti iva santushyet munihi naivendriya priyaihi jnanam yatha nanashyeta navakiryeta vangmanaha vishayeshu avishan yogi nana dharmeshu sarvataha gunadosha vyapetatmana vishajjeta vāyuvat. Next is vāyu, air, wind. It goes everywhere. Sometimes it carries fragrance. After some time it leaves it. Then some bad smell, that also it leaves. Nothing sticks to it. Like that, the yati also is moving about. He is going from one place to another, moving with all people. For the time being, something will be there, but nothing touches. Actually, in Yoga Vasishta, there is a very beautiful example given of the mirror. It says the yati should be like a darpana, ādarsha. You stand before the mirror perfectly reflects you. You go away from the mirror, not even a mark will be there in the mirror. Like that, the yogi is there, going through some experience. The moment he goes away from that place, nothing sticks to him. He is absolutely clean, clear. Nothing stays inside. So this, he says, I learnt from vāyu. The vāyu moves everywhere. It moves inside the body also. But it remains shuddha. Like that, the yogi also moves about in the world and he takes food only pranavritti iva santushyet. Munihi naiva indriya priyahi. Just to keep him alive, he is taking food, not for indriya priti. food is taken only for to be alive. That is the rule for a sadhaka. See, yesterday I was telling, everyone has some avatara uddesha. Yada yada hi dharmasya. Like that, we all have avatara. We are all avataras, and avatara is every half an hour eat something. That is what is happening. So, eat only to live. When you eat food, you have, what is the use? You have balam. And with that balam, what will you do? Tapas. Very beautifully the Shruti says, Yabhiratistyastapati rakshmibhistabhih parjanyo varshati parjanyeno oshadhi vanaspatayah prajayante oshadhi vanaspatibhirannam bhavati annena pranaha pranair balam balena tapas tapasa shraddha shraddhaya medha medhaya manisha manishaya mano manasa shanti shantya chittam chittena smritigga smritya smaragga smarena vijnanam vijnanena atmanam vedayati. When one takes food, it should lead to atma jnana. Slowly, slowly, slowly. So the food is only for giving you balam to do tapas. And like the wind moving everywhere, the yogi also moves everywhere. Vishayeshu avishan yogi nana dharmeshu sarvataha. Gunadosha vyapedatmana vishajjeta vāyuvat. Swami Vivekananda moved about everywhere in the world, in the West. But he remained so pure, extremely pure, untouched by any impurity. You see, there is a very beautiful incident. I heard this actually from Swami Niswanji Maharaj in my younger days. And the way he narrated that anecdote, I could never forget. When Swami Vivekananda returned from West, all Ramakrishna disciples, they were all around him. And one of the direct disciples of Ramakrishna was Hari Prasanna, whom in his sannyasa nama was Swami Vijnanananda. Every disciple, Ramakrishna had given some special advice, some unique advice. That is only for him, not for everyone. So to Swami Vijnanananda, Ramakrishna has given one advice, that is to keep away from women. That was the teaching. And later on he followed it very strictly. And Swami Shivananda used to make fun of him. Even a woman Mosquito cannot enter the place where he is staying. So much he was holding to that rule. So when and he was not even going to see Sharda Devi, because she is a woman. So Ramakrishna's divine consort, Holy Mother also he was not going to see. So when Swami Vivekananda returned, one day he said, Prasanna, Hari, he used to call him as Pashan, come, we will go and see Holy Mother. They were all afraid by Swamiji. So although he is also a brother disciples, nobody considered themselves as equal to him. So when he called, he had to follow. So he went out of fear, he followed him. And while going in a boat in Ganga, Swami Vivekananda will take Ganga jalam in his hand and do prokshana, and he will say Shiva Shiva. And again take Ganga jalam and he will drink Shiva Shiva. And he was doing it constantly. Take Ganga water, do prokshana, doing Shiva Shiva. See, the way Swami Vivekananda used to chant Shiva Shiva, Sister Nivedita has said, it was like a molten lava of bhakti is flowing inside. That will be the feeling. the Shiva, that bhava will be so profound. So he will again and again say Shiva, 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 take Ganga Tirtha, do Prokshana, take Ganga Tirtha, drink. And when he was repeating it again and again, Swami Vijnananda asked, Swamiji, what are you doing? He said, I am purifying myself. You are purifying? Ramakrishna has said, you are fire. Nothing can make you impure. He said, who knows? I had been in the West, very luxurious, very worldly. So much I have moved about with those people. And I am going to see Holy Mother who is purity itself. So I am purifying myself. This is a preparation for him actually. He was preparing him for that. So then he was shocked. See, before reading Bhagavatam, you should have Bhagavata Mahatmya read. Like that, before seeing Holy Mother, he was preparing him. So when they went there, he said, go and do pranams, do namaskar. So Swami Vivekananda knew what he will do. He just went inside, did a namaskar and came back without even looking. Then he said, this is the way to do namaskar to Mother. I will show you. Saying this, with all tears in his eyes, he went inside and fell before her, and she said, with affection, she touched his head. And then he also followed. Swami Vijnananda also followed. And Mother touched his head. That was a transformation. After that, he became Holy Mother's devotee. Swami Niswanji used to say, I don't know whether it is there, say Ramakrishna Dushta, used to say. Because Ramakrishna has all Bheda, all separation. Here no separation, nothing, like that. So, that kind of bhakti. So, this purity, I'm speaking about this keeping untouched. Swamiji has moved in the world so much. Even after coming back, he was the same Avadhuta. Like an Avadhuta, he went to Amarnath. Wearing only Kaupina in the Amarnath. That way he went to Amarnath. So, that is the power of spirituality. Wherever you live, whatever you go through, nothing corrupts you, nothing makes you impure. You remain untouched by it. Asanga. So that kind of purity he learned from vāyu, from air, wind. Then Gunairna yujyate yogi gandhaihi vāyuhu iva atmadrik. He is the atmadrashta. Now ākāśa. Antarhitascha sthirajangameshu brahmatma bhavena samanvayena vyapti avyavachedam asangamatmanaha munirnabhastvam vitatasya bhavayet. Ākāśa stallingat. Ākāśa is always a sign. The moment you look at the ākāśa, your mind goes to a very deep state. You can meditate on ākāśa. If you don't believe in any name or form, you can meditate on ākāśa. In Vivekachudamani, Bhagavad gives that as an example. Ākāśavan nirmala nirvikalpam nissima nispandana nirvikaram antarbahi shunyam ananyamadvayam swayam param brahma kimasti bodhyam. So, our Swarupa is like ākāśa. Like the Nabha, the space, infinite space. Like the infinite space, like the ākāśa is our Swarupa, vyapti avyavachedam asangam. Everything happens in the ākāśa, but nothing corrupts the ākāśa. Ākāśa is all pervasive, like that the self is also all pervasive. So ākāśa, by meditating on ākāśa, the yogi learns vyapti, all pervasiveness. See, earth is not all pervading. You put a log of mud, it remains there. You pour water, it spreads out, a little more pervasive. And fire, it leaps upper side also. So it is more pervading. And wind is almost, it spreads out everywhere. And space is where the wind spreads. So space is more pervasive, vyapti. And which is more pervading than space? Where the space also merges, that should be more pervading. Is there something like that? When you sleep, space disappears. So, when mind arises, space comes out. When the mind merges, space also goes. So, mind swallows space. So, mind is more pervading than space. And where does the mind merge? The mind merges in the self. So, the self is all pervasive. It pervades the bhuta ākāśa, the chitta ākāśa, and at last chidākāśa. It is the chidākāśa. So the yogi learnt from ākāśa to remain like ākāśa, untouched by anything. Whatever may happen, I am like the ākāśa. When the ghada has the ākāśa, and outside the ghada we call it mahākāśa. Whether the ghada is there, pot is there or not, ākāśa is same. Like that, I am that Brahman, which is infinite like the ākāśa, untouched by anything, pure. Like that you can meditate. So this he learnt from ākāśa. If you want to meditate, just look at the sky, space, go on looking. That itself is a meditation. That is why we call Chidambara Lingam. We have all the Panchabhuta Linga. Chidambara is ākāśa Linga. Kalahasti is vāyu Linga. Tiruvannamalai, Arunachalam is Agni Lingam. Jambukeshwara in Trichy is Jala Lingam. And Kanchipuram is Prithvi Lingam, Ekambareshwara. So Chidambaram is ākāśa Lingam. ākāśa is the Linga. ākāśa is one Linga of Ishvara. So meditate on ākāśa. So he learnt that Krishna is also ākāśa Varna. Krishna is also like space. And the Shruti says, ākāśa shariram brahma satyatma pranaramam mana anandam. ākāśa shariram. So he learnt it from ākāśa. ākāśa is one guru. And actually a jnani is like ākāśa. He has no body, he has no mind, he is like ākāśa. Gaudapadacharya, in the Karika, there is one shloka to meditate on Guru. He says, the Guru is like ākāśa, his jnanam is also like ākāśa. Jnanena ākāśa kalpena dharmanyo gaganopamana. Jneya abhinnena sambuddhaha tam vande dvipadam varam. So this is full ākāśam only. So from ākāśa he learned this. Tejo pannamayir bhavaihi megadhyaihi vāyuneritaihi nasprishyate nabastadvad kalasrishtaihi gunaihi puman swachah prakritita snigdho madhuryastirtha bhuhu nrinam munihi punati apam mitram ikshopasparsha kirtanaihi. You should have contact with pure elements. Because of this city life, even ākāśa is not visible. That is the problem. At least ākāśa should be visible. Even ākāśa is not visible. All crowded, dust, nothing. When the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Sureshwaracharya in Manasollasa Vartikam, he gives the example, Dhuli Andhakara Dhumabhra Nirmukta Gaganopamam. The mind of the yogi in the Nirvikalpa Samadhi is dhuli means dust, andhakara is darkness, dhuma is smoke, abra is cloud. Sky which is free of cloud, dust, darkness and smoke means crystal clear sky. You should be able to see that kind of sky. And simply like seeing that kind of sky, breathing pure air, that also polluted. And fire, etra agni, they say, all kind of impurities there in fire. Fire means, Upanishad says it should have 7 tongues, all kind of colors. But the fire that we get in cooker is blue color. In our gas stove, it is blue color. And the blue color is the color of, it is I don't want to say that. Unnecessarily we will get confused. We cannot do anything. So the color is blue. So that is difficult. The agni is also affected. So ākāśa, we look at the ākāśa, we learn from that, from now jalam. You have to become, see, Narmada Parikrama, devotees will do. There was one Swamiji recently, he told me, he has done Narmada Parikrama many times. It was very beautiful. Great tapasya, that is. Going around Narmada, you have to go through the forest, you have to live by bhiksha only. So the purpose is, by long association with Narmada, you become familiar with her. You become intimate with her. You learn to communicate with her. See, going around Arunachala is also like that. Giri Pradakshanam in Tiruvannamalai. You have to look at the hill from distance and pay attention to the hill and walk. Now the hill is all covered by forest and constructions. But formerly, the hill will be completely visible. So we used to go almost every day. Many devotees used to do pradakshanam. Generally, I will go by about 8:30 and come back by 12:30 in the night. So this pradakshanam, while we are going, Arunachala will be visible. Looking at Arunachala, you do pradakshanam and you become more and more and more close with the hill. You breathe the hill. You look at the hill. So a kind of familiarity comes. So here, Avadhuta says, apam mitram. The person should become friendly with water, so that water can teach you something. You become familiar with water and you learn how to be cool, how to purify everything. See, Ganga jalam, it will purify everything. Like that, the Muni also, wherever he goes, he purifies. Punati apam mitram. Wherever he goes, madhuryaha tirtabhuhu. See, what is the taste of water? Actually, we think no taste, but actually taste comes from water. You will know the taste only, you don't get water for some time. Very hot summer, you thirst for water, and at last after some time you get water. Then you will know water is sweet. Madhuryam. You have the sugarcane sweetness. Actually, it is the water inside sugarcane that is giving the sweetness. So it is water. So water is very sweet. Like that, the yogi is also very sweet. Wherever he goes, he is like a tirtha. He makes people feel that shitalata, that coolness. He purifies. Wherever he goes, he purifies. Tirthi kurvandi tirthani swantastena gadabhrida. Bhagavata says they purify the tirtha kshetras. When they go to some place, that place becomes pure. You go to Calcutta, you see wherever Ramakrishna has went, that place has become pure. That place, here Ramakrishna came, here Ramakrishna did this, here Ramakrishna did that, here Holy Mother stayed. Every place becomes pure. Here also Bangalore Ashrama. You see, when we come to Bangalore Ramakrishna Math, Sharada Devi has come here. She has sat in that rock. Tirtham. It becomes tirtham. So wherever the saint goes, the place becomes pure. Whatever they touch, it becomes pure. So punati, he purifies. Punati apam mitram ikshopa sparsha kirtanaihi. By his simple look, the person is purified. By a touch, the person is purified. See, Girish Chandra Ghosh, he used to say, if you want to know the glory of Ramakrishna, you have to see my life. He has said someplace that the amount of wine that I have drunk, one by one the bottle is kept, it will cross Everest. And in such a state, Ramakrishna purified me. Iksha upasparsha kirtanaihi. Now see, we are talking about Ramakrishna, we are also purified. By thinking about the Muni, by thinking about the sage, the person becomes pure. By getting a touch from the sage, the person becomes pure. See, when Swami Brahmananda Maharaj came to Kerala, those times Tulasi Maharaj, Swami Nirmalananda was doing a great revolution in Kerala. Very, very silent revolution. Even now, that much recognition has not come. The thing that he did in Kerala. It was a great thing that he did. Very recently, about 7-8 years back, Dr. P. Achyutan, he was a professor. He died when he was 95 or 96. And he was a direct disciple of Swami Nirmalananda Ji Maharaj. He was initiated by Swami Nirmalananda when he was 9-year-old. Some devotees are here who have served him also. Dr. P. Achyutan was a great bhakta. He used to become so emotional when he had all remembrance of Tulasi Maharaj. His father was also a disciple of Swami Nirmalananda, and their native house is now the Uttapalam Ashrama, where his samadhi happened. So, Tulasi Maharaj brought Swami Brahmananda to Kerala, and he brought Swami Brahmananda like as if he is bringing Sri Ramakrishna with so much bhakti, so much love. So when Brahmananda Swami, who was a Manasaputra of Ramakrishna, all disciples of Ramakrishna considered him like Ramakrishna himself. So when he came to Kerala, to Thiruvananthapuram, all the devotees there, they assembled and they all were inspired by Swami Vivekananda. So they thought, all other disciples will be like Swami Vivekananda giving talks, very powerful speakers. So they arranged for a speech of Swami Brahmananji, and Tulasi Maharaj was also somewhat like Swami Vivekananda. He was also like a firebrand. So he said, you Anglo-sized Hindus, he said, you are all corrupted by westernized Hindus, you are all. You don't know that Maharaj, Swami Brahmananda is a sage, he is a rishi. He will not give talks. His mere presence is enough. You will get spirituality by his darshana, by his touch. One word from him is enough. So when he came to Haripad, many were initiated in Kerala. Many. One of the well-known people are Swami Agamanji was initiated by him, and not much known, but devotees know him. One of the greatest devotees in that lineage is Sheshadri Iyer from Thiruvananthapuram. Swamiji must be knowing him. He was a great devotee. His reminiscences is also there in the book. He knew about 23, 24 languages. All, even European languages, also many languages he knew. And very unknown to the world he lived. He used to do namaskar to everybody when moving in the road also. Professor Muralidhara Menon was a great scholar, initiated disciple of, I think, Swami Veereshwaranandji, or before that. I don't know who was his guru. He was a great Ramakrishna devotee. He was very close with Seshadri Iyer. So he used to say, nobody knew him. And his wife always used to fight with him. And she used to say, he destroyed my life by reading books. Nobody understood. He will be doing namaskar to everyone, very simple devotee, very humble devotee. And he was just what we call a gumasta. You use the word in Kannada also? He's like a clerk, a very, very low grade officer in government some circle. Once this well-known Diwan, Sir C.P. Ramaswamy Iyer, he got a book, some European language, I don't know which language, French or some other language. Some book was translated to Malayalam or English, very well done. So he went through that book and saw the name translator is Seshadri Iyer Tiruvidankuru. Who is this person? Such a scholarly man, where is he? Then he searched and found out that he is a clerk somewhere unknown to the world. Then he took him and put him some higher position and all. So he was a very great devotee. He was also initiated in Haripad. Actually, that initiation is very beautiful. He was very orthodox. So, very orthodox way of cooking food. Everything was arranged there. And when initiating, Brahman Swami every day said, I will initiate you next day, like that. At last, when he initiated, it was a great wonder because they had a family deity which was not known to anyone else. There are many deities which is not common in other states. For example, there is Kirata Murti. That is one deity. So it's not known in other places. Shiva as Kirata. So that like that some deity they had in their family, and that mantra was given by Maharaj. He had the vision of that mantra and that mantra was given to him. So like that Swami Brahmananda initiated many. And in Haripad, this incident comes in Tulsi Maharaj's life. I don't know, it must be there somewhere else also. One youngster was very arrogant, very intellectual, logical, and he was having a big argument with Nirmalananda Swami, Tulsi Maharaj. He said, I will not accept God. And Nirmalananda Swami was is inspired more by Swami Vivekananda. Very well read, very rational, very logical. So he was just putting him down with his arguments. So there was a big debate going on, but this youngster was not convinced. All arguments could not convince him. Then suddenly Swami Brahmananda was walking in the corridor. He just looked through the window and asked Tulasi, what is happening here? He said, Maharaj, this, some word he uses, this fool is arguing with me. Then this young boy asked, who is that? He said, if possible, go and argue with him. He said. So he went to Swami Brahmananda, but the moment he entered that presence, he could not speak. Brahman Swami simply touched his chest and said, my dear child, God exists. No other argument. He simply said, my dear child, God exists. Saying this, he touched his chest. He was full of tears. He just fell down and did a namaskara and came out. Over. In Tamil we say, Taduthu Aatkollal. Conquering by the spiritual presence, the Sannidhi. One moment, over. All the arguments are over, rationalization is over, arrogance is over, everything over, surrendered. Surrender also you cannot do by yourself. You need a higher presence which makes you surrender. That is what we call Tadu Aatkollal. In Tamil we call it Aatkollal. The ego is conquered, put down. The ego cannot do surrender. We simply say surrender. How to surrender? The ego cannot surrender. It needs a higher presence where surrender will happen. Surrender will occur. That is why we say Satsanga is needed. You need a higher presence, and that higher presence just makes you surrender. Your ego naturally goes down. Your ego is muted, at least for the time being. So this is what happens. So the yogi is like that. Here he says he is like water, he is like fire. The fire burns everything. Like that, the yogi burns wherever he goes. No, Swami Vivekananda says in one place, my words are like fire. It is like wherever it goes, it burns. Burns its way. Whether you want it or not, it will burn. So, fire. From fire also he learnt many things. First of all, the gastric fire, Vaishvanara agni. A avadhuta, a yogi, a sannyasi needs very good gastric fire. Because he gets bhiksha, every bhiksha he should digest. Whatever gets, he should be able to digest it. Good or bad, he should be able to digest it. Not too much bothered about food. Whatever food he gets, karatala bhiksha. That bhiksha he gets, he puts it in his mouth, digest it. So that kind of power is needed for a yati. Bhikshaushadham bhujyatam. Bhiksha is like a aushadham, medicine for a disease called hunger. Chudvyadhischa chikitsyatam. Pratidinam bhikshaushadham bhujyatam. Swadvannam natu yajyatam. Vidhivashat praptena santushyatam. Don't ask for tasty food. By your vidhi, whatever you get, eat it. Vidhivashat praptena santushyatam. This is the instruction for a bhikshu. Whatever you get, take it as bhiksha. So, this he learnt from fire. Tejasvi tapasa deepto durdarsho udara bhajanaha sarva bhakshopi yuktatma nadatte malam agnivat kvajichannaha kvajit spashtaha upasya shreya ichchatam bhungte sarvatra dadrinam dahan prag uttara shubham. Sometimes he is hidden. The yogi moves about. Sometimes he is hidden. Nobody can find him out. Sometimes he opens up. Spashtaha. For whom? A person who is a deserving person, the Avaduta becomes known. He will not hide from everybody. He will hide from worldly people. From worldly people, when they want to find him out, he moves about like a madman, like an ignorant person, not knowing anything. Recently, I heard about a Mahatma, and somebody went to him. He said, "You are a sannyasi?" He said, "No, I am a local gunda." He said, "I am a local gunda." So they don't want to be known. Aprakyapyayan ahameham evam vidaha iti. Not telling that I am so and so. Moving about unknown to the world, they like that that kind of solitary life. So that way they move about. But when a seeker comes, a mumukshu comes, they reveal themselves. Then for him, they reveal their real nature. So that is upasyaha shreya ichchatam. Those who want to spiritually evolve, for them he is upasya. He is available for them. Bhunkte, whatever bhiksha is given, he just eats them. Whatever bhiksha he eats, the giver of bhiksha is purified. The person who gives bhiksha, he becomes purified. So, swamayaya srishtamidam sadasallakshanam vibhuhu pravishta iyade tattat swarupogni vaidhasi visargadya spashananta bhava dehasya natmanah kalanamiva chandrasya kalena avyakta vartumana. The yogi is going on learning from earth, from water, from air, from fire, from space. All the Panjabhutas are over. Now he looks at the moon. From Amavasya to Paurnami, the moon grows. And from Paurnami to Amavasya, it decreases. Looking at it, he learns this is like this, that Yauvana, Balya, Yauvana, Vardhakya, all these things come to the body. Visargadya smashanantaha bhavaha. From entering the womb to the smashana, crematorium. The body has so many changes. But are we really changing? Suppose we take our own photo, which was taken when I was only 4 years old, and look at the photo. The same person is not now. Even clinically they say every 7 years the entire body changes. So many deaths have already occurred. The body is not the same body. The body has completely changed. Every cell has changed. But I don't feel I have changed. I show this photo, this is me. And the old age also, this is me. Why? Because there is a changeless principle inside saying I. Balyadishvapi jagradadishu tatha sarvasu avasthasvapi vyavrittasu anuvartamanam aham iti antaspurantam sada. This Balya, Kaumara, Yavana, Vardhakya, everything comes and goes. But the I behind, the consciousness which is inside as I am, it is changeless. It remains changeless, shining forth changeless. When you recognize that, this outer change is like the moon appearing as changing. The moon is appearing as changing, but the real thing is changeless. Our real being remains changeless. So you have to separate yourself from the body. No, we are not feeling the change. Others look at you and say, oh, you have changed. The body is different. But I am the same. The I remains same. So this he learnt from looking at the moon. This Atmanatma Vivechanam he did from looking at the moon. Kalena hyogavegena bhutanam prabhavapyayu nityavapina drishyete atmanogne retharchisham gunair gunanupadatte yathakalam vimunchati nateshu yujyate yogi gobirga iva gopatihi. From sun also he learnt many things. See, Surya is the guru. Entire Vedic life is based on Surya, Saura Marga. And the Pitru Karma or Karma Kanda Veda Bhaga is mostly based on moon, Chandra. That is why it's all Paksha. Amavasya, the Agnihotra should be done. Darsha Purnamaseshti, Chaturmasyeshti, Agrayaneshti, Paurnamasya Ishti. All these things are done by the Agnihotri according to the movement of the moon. And everyday Vaidika Karma is Nityanushtana is Surya Udaya and Surya Astamana. And Uttarayana Dakshinayana is based on Surya. So looking at the sun, See, Surya is the real Guru. For Hanuman, Surya is Guru, and everyone can take Brahma Vidya from sun. Yajnavalkya took the entire Shukla Yajurveda from Surya. And Gayatri Mantra, the outer Devata is Surya, and the implied meaning is inner self. Yashayam Purushe, Yashasava Aditye Sa Ekaha. Who is in this Purusha, who is in this Aditya? One. Both are one. What shines forth in the Surya, the same is shining here in the heart as I. Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapahitam mukham tattvam pushanna pavrunu satya dharmaya drishtaye. So it all is about Surya. So he learnt by looking at the Surya, it takes the water, makes the cloud and sends out as rain. But nothing touches the Surya. Like that, the knower also is like the Surya, like the sun, shining with splendor, with the knowledge of the self, and not affected. Many pots water you keep, in every pot water you will see the sun reflected. If the water is muddy, the sun will appear as if it is muddy. If the water is clear, the sun will appear clear. But is the sun affected? No. You look at the pot and the water and the reflection. Like that, we think the body is the pot, the mind is the water, the reflected consciousness, Chidabhasa, the Jiva Bhava, is like the reflection. Leave the pot, leave the water, leave the reflection and look at the sun. Ghadam jalam tadgadam arkabimbam vihaya sarvam vinirikshadehi arkaha. So too, the yogi leaves, ignores the body, ignores the mind, ignores the reflection, looks at the real bimba, which is the Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupa, which is unaffected by all these affectations of the ego, which is pure, whole, purna. So this he learns from the Surya Bimba. Nati sneha prasango va kartavya kwapi kenachit kurvan vindeda santapam kapota iva dinadihi. Now that 7 is over. Panchabhuta, moon, sun. Usually we call Ashtamurti. One more thing is Chayatana. With all that, Bhur Ambamsi Analo Anilo Ambaram Aharnato Himamshuhu Puman Ityabhadi Characharatmakamidam Yassiva Murtyashtakam Nanyat Kinchana Vidyate Vimarshatam Yasmat Parasmat Vibho Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshina Murtaye. So this is Ashtamurti. From that we have now seen 7. The Gurus are 24. I think we can cover. So the first 7 Gurus we have seen. Like this Avadhuta, we also have to learn from many Gurus in the world to complete our spiritual life. Everywhere we have to learn. Positively or negatively you have to learn to attain that samahita sthiti, that shanta. Because shanti is Atma, shanti is our Swarupa, shanti is mukti, shanti is liberation, shanti is Brahmi sthiti. Shanti is Ishvara. Upashanto yam Atma. The Shruti says Atma is Upashanta. That's Shanti. So we will continue tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, 10 to 11, there will be a talk in Ramana Center for Learning in Mercury Circle. Their shrine, that a small temple is there, the Mercury Circle. There will be a talk on Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi's teaching, morning 10 o'clock. Mritsnamatsi yashoda tadana shaishava santrasam vyadhita सर्वत्रालोकितलोकालोकचतुर्दशलोकालिं लोकत्रयपुरमूलस्तम्भं लोकालोकमनालोकं लोकेशं परमेशं प्रणमत गोविन्दं परमानन्दम् गोविन्दं परमानन्दं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं भज गोविन्दं परमानन्दम् यतो ममात्मा भवसि त्वमेव ततो न वाच्यं मम किञ्चिदस्ति यथा तवेष्टं कुरु मां तथैव त्वाम् आत्मनाथं रमणं भजामि। सर्वत्र गोविन्दनाम संकीर्तनम् जानकीकान्तस्मरणं हर नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव।